Hey y'all, I'm JJ. I know you've heard people talk about between the dash. It's like, what would you do? When on your tombstone it's going to be your birthday and then the day you die. What matters is the dash. What did you do? I'm going to take you on a little journey. We'll go back to 2001. Well, we'll go back to 1980. I come home from school one day and I was assaulted by a family member. I was 9 years old. And I went throughout life, kind of blocked all the things that happened to me. I kind of blocked it out. And I've gone through life saying, well, if this didn't happen, would I be like I am, who I am? People talk about sexual assault, child abuse. It's like a taboo. Ooh, just don't say nothing. Shitting me, it's time to say something. We're gonna rush on to about 2001. And I got myself in a circumstance because as what I went through as a child, the only way I knew what love was through sex. So I had an encounter. I broke the law. You know. I wasn't supposed to go to prison is what my attorney said. But I did. And it took me about 3 years to realize what Psalms 23 is. The Lord is my shepherd, he shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Prison was my green pastures. About my third year in there, I started kind of looking what life is really about. Reality hit me. The narcissistic side of me was, I thought the world should stop because I'm in prison, I'm not there. Whenever I made demands or asked my family for anything, I wanted it done now, and it shocked me whenever they couldn't get it done. Well, we'll fast forward on for a few years. In prison, I've always been spiritual. I don't do religion. The difference between religious and spiritual, and my beliefs are, religious people are scared to go to hell. Spiritual people, we've been to hell and we fought our way up out of it. Now we spend the rest of our life trying to help other people out of their hells. So we'll fast forward to 2013. I get out of prison and I start working for this agency. A few weeks later, they promoted me to van driver. So I was kind of running the crews, and I met somebody. He was cool as fuck, you feel me? And he used to tell me, he used to show me pictures of his wife's cooking and all that. I said, damn, she love your ass. Very good looking guy, very good looking guy. And whenever I seen his wife, I said, wow. She a big girl, she ain't ugly by no means. Dorothy, she a motherfucker. But whenever I met these people, it's like I've known them all my life. I told them about my background, you know. A couple months later, see, whenever I went to prison, my daughter, she was 6. And whenever I met them, they had a daughter, and she was 6. So we hit it off, you know what I mean? Like uncle, you know. So she started staying with me, you know. The girls started staying at my house, you know. We're family, you know. We work together. So things went along, and one of the girls come to me one day, and I was talking to her about life, and I told her, yeah, all them guys want is what's between your legs. Value yourself. She's a good girl, but I promised her, because we were close. I love this family. I'll always be there for you. And Dee, she was amazing. She was so humble and so shy, and they treated her like shit. She was their maid. She was their, I hate to use the word, but she was their slave. If anything got fucked up, she'd have to clean it up. Excuse me. But I love the girl. She was 17 years old. And I told her, listen to me. I'll always be there for you. No matter what, I'll be there for you. So life happens and situations change. And I didn't see him, put it this way, I went into the disaster relief business, into the storm business. And I was gone. I was in St. Augustine handling Hurricane Matthew. Well, Grandma called me one day and she said, JJ, she says, Dee Dee's pregnant. This was a couple years later. So she said, Dee Dee's pregnant. And their house just got shot up. Come get this baby and take her with you. Well, I did. And I moved her to St. Augustine with me. Dee Dee had always loved me. I could see it in her eyes. And I loved her dearly. I didn't really look at her as a wifey material, you know what I'm saying? But she was pure in my eyes. She was just damaged. Put it that way. She was damaged. Childhood traumas. So I wanted to save her. And I vowed to save her. So she was 4 months pregnant then. 5 months goes along. We've lived together every day, and I asked her to marry me. Because in 2013, right before I got out of prison, I prayed, God, give me a chance to do it the right way. Because I have older kids and I made mistakes. I mean, I fucked up, and there is no reason why I met these, you know what I'm saying? But I knew that baby was mine. That's my promise, the promise from God. 40-something-year-old man got her pregnant. Manipulated her, blah, 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 blah. Things happen, everything happens for a reason. And I believe that's why God gave me my angel. We got married February 24th, 2017. My son was born April 21st, 2017. And my life changed. I had talked to him while she was pregnant. I'd lay in the bed and talk to him. We'd listen to certain music, 48 Laws of Power, self-discipline, because I believed that he could hear that. And that was God's gift to me. So I had to, And whenever he was born, he didn't breathe for 6 minutes. The cord had got wrapped around her throat, around his throat. I believe myself that God had to change the soul that he was giving, because he's going to give me my soul, a piece of me. Because I tell you, he's not my blood, but he's just like me. I'm talking about, that is my everything. I live and breathe him. He come into this world, and it was like they had to put him in they had to put lights over him. So I went down there, and babies can't see whenever they first born like that. And I went up to him and I started talking to him, and his little head cocked a little bit. He couldn't see me, but he knew that voice. And that's where it started. He held my finger, and Daddy's baby, I mean, that's, you know, we've been locked in like that ever since. Let's fast forward a few years. Fast forward a year. Dee Dee, my wife, we had separated, you know, we had JCL. And I told her, let me be a dad, go be young. Well, she got pregnant again. Jonathan was born. We call him Choo Choo. I was gone doing storms in and out of town. My mom couldn't handle both of them. So Big Mama raised one and raised Choo Choo. You know, it was a family thing. You know, it was a group thing because that's what we do. And JCL was with us for almost 3 years. Well, I come home. I went to 2020. I went to Lake Charles. My business exploded. It's unheard of. I mean, you know, the money that comes through, it was unheard of. So things changed. Life got a little bit easier. So I kept asking her for like a year, about 6 months. When you gonna give him my name? You know, brothers shouldn't be growing up confused whenever they in class or whatever. And well, this one's a Snipes, this one's a whatever. You know. So you know, blood don't make you family. You know, you ain't got to be blood to be family. And I love this little shit. He's a challenge, but spite, family members, they made him this way because he's just whenever he's good, you couldn't ask for anything better. But things are crazy. We'll fast forward a little bit more. And I was in Atlanta and I bought a grapple truck and my eyesight started going. So they diagnosed me with macular degeneration. So couldn't be driving that big old equipment. So I come home to the house. Things happen, you know, business things happen. And I was ready to come home. I've been traveling for almost 5 years. So I would come and get the boys and they come down for Christmas, you know, in Atlanta. But I come home, first week of January, I got the boys. We stayed in an extended stay for about, I don't know, almost a month while I got my house ready to move in. Everything's been going good. They're even on the lease. So I put a lot of money in this house to make it, because it don't have to be bougie, but it has to be right. Everything was going good. See, I have the boys all the time, but I'm on child support because she's got food stamps and stuff. Last year I went and got insurance. The child support said, go get the insurance for them and we'll knock it out. Well, I went and got the insurance for a month and a half and I tried to get the child support shut down and she canceled the insurance. Ain't that about a bitch? She told me all the family secrets whenever we first got, you know, I was living in St. Augustine. You know, some people feel entitled to everybody's shit. So, and she even told me about the ones that were stealing from me whenever we was in Springfield. The little one told the big one where I kept the money, you know what I'm saying? Then she went to stealing out of my wallet. I woke him up one morning and I said, you know you ain't got to steal from me, right? Oh, yeah, I'd never do that. Well, you could see it. She had one of them, I don't know, the sports, whatever, them fucking halter tops, whatever. You could see the money right there on her breast. I said, what the fuck? She really didn't keep staying there anymore. You know, she went, she come over and visit every now and then, but it's kind of faded out because this shit ain't sweet. She got me for like $400 in a week, 10 days. So, like I say, we're going back to JCL. So we've been living in this house. Let's see here. Today is April 29th. So we've been there since January 28th. Well, April 18th. See, JCL doesn't, I mean, he's not around his mom a lot, one-on-one. She's been known to put her hands on him, and he's scared of her. Whenever he was like 15 months, she used to tell me how her mama used to hit her right dead in the center of the back. And I called her. I looked into the living room one day and she punched him right in the back, just like, I said, what the fuck? So, kind of made it where he was with us the majority of the time over the next 3.5 years, 3 years. So, I went there one time and dropped him off, and he hadn't seen her in 3 or 4 weeks. So yes, he started crying whenever I went to leave. And I heard the slaps and shit. And I, went in there, I was just, yeah, insane. We used to talk how we was going to break those generational curses of what was done to us and save and keep our sons safe. In one ear and out the other. Sounded good while she was talking. And I found out she pretty much manipulated me the whole way through. I mean, just been crazy. But fast forward to the next year. Baby girl was due. She goes to the hospital. I'm doing some work on a house. I said, Shay, go with her. We'll go with her. Shit, she's traumatic whenever she's having a baby. So she went, and I said, y'all have fun. And I left, and I was happy. I said, baby girl, I'm gonna be here a little bit later. Then I get the phone call that she lost the baby. I've never been so gut punched. I mean, let me tell you something. I've never felt no pain like that. Never in my life. It wasn't even my child. We weren't together. And I've asked God, why have I been through all this stuff? I don't do that no more. I know why. Because it brings us to this day. Because we all come here with a purpose. And once you realize what that purpose is, you better go after it. You better go after it. I can't think of nothing else but fulfilling my purpose. Breaking generational curses. And that's what we're doing. Because I wrote a thing in my book. Because my book is Family Secrets and Then Some. But I put something in, whenever that baby died, a piece of me died. And then I started like another understanding. I was with a narcissist for a while that really fucking destroyed me, But whenever I say everything happens for a reason, and God, He puts people in your life for a reason, if only for a season. Whenever you're elevating, He puts you in situations. Because you can either learn your lesson or accept your blessing. Because the universe, as long as you say, shoot, I like it. Well, the universe says, well, if you like it, I love it. And they're going to keep on giving you the same thing. God going to keep on giving you. Until you learn your lesson, value yourself, and set boundaries, because people will only treat you how you allow them to treat you. Well, I started setting my boundaries. This family has milked me. Put it this way, as long as I paid the money every month, they didn't care about getting JCL. While I was here with the boys, when in the last few months, I'd give her $1,000 one month through child support. And all she had to do was pay Choo-Choo. I pay $600 a month for Choo-Choo's school. JCL's up the age, he don't have to be, but we've been doing this. And I give her the $1,000 here. Do this and pay the month of schooling, and the rest is yours. I mean, shit, you ain't got to do nothing. Well, she didn't. So I stopped school. This shit is not sweet. Just because my business did good, I work for that. What I'm building is for my son. What's your legacy? I'm building my legacy. So, got an attorney because she won't sign the divorce papers, and I told her of how JCL feels. He doesn't like being around. I mean, I have to make him kiss her. I have to make him hug her. And she says that y'all are married. So by law, you don't have to. If he don't want to go, he don't have to. So, a couple times that she wanted him to stay, he didn't want to, so he didn't stay. Well, one time she tried to make him. My son goes into hysterics every time I say we're going to see his mama. It's been this way the majority of his life, since he was probably 13 months old. So I don't know what the fuck goes on while I'm not around, but it's not good. I asked my son, I don't know, a few months back, why don't you like going to mommy's? He says she hits too hard. Well, this time I tried to defend my son. Tried to protect my child. And I took Choo-Choo, but not JCL. So I had some running around. I was on the other side of town. So they act like I was going to steal my son. What the fuck? But then they called their aunt. She works for DCF, Children, Families and Services, whatever, CFS. And she didn't threaten me, but she threatened me because of my background. Well, as long as I was paying the money, y'all didn't give a fuck about the background. Because let's rewind again. Because I know how they, since being around them 7 years now, I know how they act and I know how they think. They'll do anything for $1. So this is my lay of the land, because a family member called me about a child in there a year ago. Please watch my child and please make sure that they don't do what they did to the older ones. Whew. The woman that made that phone call to me, whenever Dee Dee was 12, her son raped her, and it was brushed up under the rug. Never said anything about. So, imagine the shitstorm that I'm opening up right now. But we're breaking generational curses, because things go on with this family. JCL is used to love. He's used to communication. He's not used to beatings. And that's what they do. They have the yellow man and the black man. That's a yellow spoon or a black spoon. So the boys, they live in fear every day. With me, with my mom, they can be boys. I let them go in the room. They got bunk beds with ladder going to the, with the staircase going to the top. I let them be boys. So they get dirty. They don't want, oh, don't get dirty. They're boys. What are they? I mean, what the fuck are they supposed to do? They're boys. Let them be boys. I don't raise sissies. And we're not talking about gender shit either. So, JCL, I mean, we were so good. And then they used my background to snatch him from me. So, my challenge to myself, I'm going to be the first one to get custody of my son. In the category that this state's got me in, I'm going to be the first one to get full custody of my son. This is the meaning for this video. Because the world, y'all look at things the wrong way. You know? Because whenever somebody they just don't wake up in the morning and say, well, I think this is going to happen. This is what I'm going to do to this. It don't happen like that. Whenever somebody does some bullshit, does some fucked up shit, you got to figure out what's going to heal them. Think I'm stupid? Could you imagine all the childhood traumas if they would have nipped it in the bud back then instead of throwing it up under the rug? You know? What would the world be like? Murder rates down, drug addiction down. So, that's my challenge. That's my mission. Bringing awareness to the shit that goes on. The people that groom their children to start working for sex at about the age of 15. Some of them go down to the age of 7, 8. But we don't want to hear about it. Oh, them neighbors, they sure got their shit together. No, they don't. Those are usually the ones that are fucked up. Everybody's got some dysfunction in their family. Everybody. So, ain't nobody pointing fingers. Because I can't judge nobody. My life has been, some people would call it insane. But it's been normal to me. But I understand why my path was the way it was. God molded me for this. We fixing to bring awareness to a lot of shit. One family at a time. Right now, I'm looking to save my son. I guarantee you his nerves are shot. Or they fed his mind full of shit. Because that's just how they are. They manipulate. You know? They mold. And it's... You love something, but you know just something ain't right. That's that family. I love mama like she had me sometimes, you know. But they don't give a fuck about none of us. She had me put up a camera one time because somebody was stealing from her. Well, they forgot to put the camera up. So I stayed there about 5 days. Could you imagine the shit that I heard? That's whenever I started backing up. I come over whenever I have to. Last year, she said, your son's messed up my couch, which I knew better, but I went and bought a brand new living room suit. Told her, took her and let her pick it out. You know? I know game. It is what it is. But, as I say, as long as I paid the money and was sweet and going against my principles, going against, setting boundaries, then they want to take my son. You know? So, wait till I start showing the pictures. Whenever I tell you that's my everything, I fucked up with my older son. I was gone. He was 4. They filled his head full of shit his whole life. You know? But JCL, I live and breathe him. Ain't he special? He's got a gift. He's got a spiritual gift. He's a healer. I can see this already. He's an empath. I'm an intuitive empath. But he tries to protect his brother and save his brother all the time. It's so precious whenever I'm sitting in my office and I hear him trying to talk Choo-Choo out of doing some dumb shit. You know? And I'm going to tell you, Choo-Choo he's not, and I hate the word bad, he's ADHD. So his mind, he doesn't understand what's going on with his brain. I'm ADHD. My other son was ADHD. So I understand. But they said, don't breathe that on him. They ain't breathing it on him. It's there. While he's with me, We sit down to eat for dinner. I mean, it's just, it's just bringing some morale, just teaching them some shit, what life's supposed to be like, family values. But they just want to put a cell phone in their hands and let it babysit for them. I teach the boys stuff. They were good with me. Been doing a lot of praying. But something's got to be done. Because I promised JCL I would never leave him or forsake him. So, y'all look for my book. Y'all comment. Tell me if anybody can relate. You are not your past. You might fuck up, but that does not define who you are. Stop letting other people's opinions mold who you are. Set your boundaries. Learn to accept who you are. I'm human. We make mistakes. I'm not saying that don't go out there and make that shit again. But forgive yourself. Heal your inner child. Do your shadow work. It's changed my life, and I'm not even there yet. But my life is going to be dedicated to, for one, be a witness of what God's mercy and grace looks like. Because without Him, wow. My daddy was an ordained minister. He got killed at the age of 46. And everybody used to compare me, I never want to be like him. Well, I'm going to tell you. Johnny Snipes, he used to carry around little wooden nickels. Because back in the day, they say, well, when you going to do this with me? Whenever I get around to it. Well, Daddy had some of them in his pocket. He said, when you going to go to church with me? Oh, Johnny, whenever I get around to it. Daddy reached in his pocket, handed him this little coin. He had that West Side Holiness Church of God on one side and Round to it on the other. He said, I'll see you Sunday. Watched him drive 51 miles one way, pick up a couple, bring them to church, feed them, and take them back home. Daddy loved the Lord. Daddy was religious. I think God had a spiritual journey for him, and he kind of messed up, and he got electrocuted at the age of 46 and was killed. Something that he done every day. I've dragged my feet long enough. And I don't want to take a chance. I've got a purpose. I'm breaking generational curses. We've already started in our family. Now I'm going to start in theirs. Because I wrote something, like I said, in my book. It's one of the chapters. I don't know, I can't remember the whole thing, but it says, when will you decide? When will you decide to protect the peace of protect your peace and the peace of your child? Don't be ignorant to the things that are going around you. Stop playing dumb. Stop turning a blind eye to the abuse that you know that's happening. I can't, like I said, I can't, but it's just saying it's your duty. Look your child in the face. You know what I mean? You see that? You see that? Just that wonder in their eyes? It's your job to protect that shit. That innocence, it's your job to protect it. I'm going to bring this video to a close, and we'll pick it up later.